So yeah, welcome to the Anispective cast, where we believe that all animals have equal rights.
This one's weird, but this one is clearly like the really comedic one before things get more serious.
I love that you just sandbag that so freaking hard. Don't worry about it, it's fine.
I mean, I don't know what else I was supposed to say. They're animals.
Yeah, they all have equal rights. They should get them, they just have them. Just intrinsically. Oh man. Yeah, this episode of Medaby goes to the zoo.
Yeah, at first he doesn't like it because it seems boring. All the animals are asleep, quote unquote asleep.
Yeah, and then turns out there's a reason for that because all the animals are it's just all penguins. It's all penguins all the way down. Everything is penguins.
Everything is a bunch of penguins wearing an animal costume
It
for some
probably
reason.
cost more to get the animal costumes than it did to get all these penguins for them.
They probably could have stole newspapers, glue, and like ran some water and made paper mache animals.
They probably could have just filled them with like foam or like cardboard and it would look about as good.
Yeah, because that's the thing. The penguins, because like the animals are like quote unquote sleeping. The penguins aren't moving the thing around. They could have just been replaced with like as close as they could get to lifelike replicas, and it would have been just as effective.
It is pretty good though.
Also, for a bit of the episode, it seems like the Robo Gang might be on the level actually, and this is like a legitimate zoo. It's just they're stupid.
Yeah.
And then it's immediately like, no, they like stole these penguins.
Yeah, that's something I wasn't expecting. This episode has a surprising amount of continuity. Because if you remember a while back, remember when they like bought the entire theme park and put them in the red?
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh crap, we're out of money. We need to start a zoo to get back and like have the red. And then the zoo fails. And the next episode is them being even more out of money.
Yeah, they're super broke. They're living in a shack by the river.
Yeah. I think they're already living in a shack, but now it's like even worse.
Well, they tend to move their base.
Yeah. I don't know why they're living in a shack when they can just build weird houses for people, like, immediately. Just no problem at all.
Yeah, it's weird. The Robo Gang is inconsistent.
Yeah. Maybe it's don't have money for building supplies anymore because they ran the housing scam and they didn't make anything off of it. And then they bought the amusement park and now they can't do that scam again.
Yeah, and then they do the zoo thing, but they're letting people in for free, which I kind of get. It's like a ploy to get people to come back, but their zoo sucks.
Yeah, clever marketing gimmick done very poorly.
Yeah, these guys are idiots. But yeah, we learn that Medaby freaking loves penguins.
Yeah, Medaby sees penguins and he seems to really like them. And he's like, oh, all the animals are penguins? Oh, dude, this zoo is rad.
Yeah, I take it back. This is great. And it's like, this isn't what a zoo's supposed to be like. And he's like, what's the problem with that? This is great.
This is the best zoo I've ever seen. I mean, I'm going. If I went to a zoo and all the exhibits were penguins, I would be morbidly curious. That might be the best zoo I've ever been to. Just to like wonder how the crap, you know?
Yeah, but here's the problem. It's like summer in Japan. It's really hot, and the penguins are miserable because, of course, they are.
Oh, that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, Robo Gang doesn't care about getting like a cool enclosure for them or anything. They're just having them run around in animal costumes.
How dare you do this to the pengoos?
Yeah, and there's like one boy who like finds a hose and he's like spraying the penguins with it. And then he gets kicked out of the zoo for it by some very strangely dressed people who we've already revealed are the Robo Gang.
I wonder who they could possibly be.
I wonder.
Surely they couldn't be those guys, right?
Yeah, surely. Also, the boy has a penguin Medabot.
Yeah, named Penguin.
Yeah, Penguin.
I have to imagine this is one of those names that might work better in like Japanese.
Maybe. Well, no, because you hear I think they pronounce it like Penguin. Like I don't think it has like the
Penguin.
The
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But it's spelled in the subs like you would pronounce it.
Clearly like wordplay. Yeah.
Yeah, like penguin. Like it's whatever.
Yeah, this is a weird one because it's like the design has like little flippers coming out of his body, but he doesn't use them to walk. He just kind of floats around.
Yeah, he's also described as a purely support Medabot whose armor is too weak for combat.
Yeah, we have another healer, except this one isn't a girl for once. So that's nice.
It's androgynous. It could be.
It could be. It's a gender-neutral penguin, as far as we know.
Yeah, it is a penguin.
Yeah, you look at, you got what you put in. It is a pure mirror reflecting your very soul, your essence. Wherever you see on the penguin, that is what you shall be. Don't stare too hard, or it might drain your life itself.
But yeah, after spending some time at the crappy zoo, they leave, and it's like Medabots realizes that like the penguins are being abused and like made to work in poor conditions and stuff, and they happen to watch a TV show talking about a ship that's conveniently heading to Antarctica soon.
Yeah. As someone who has watched a place further than the universe, thank God there's already a ship heading there. That is a hard thing to set up otherwise. Also, apparently penguins are really stinky. Yeah, that's another thing I learned from that show. Apparently penguins actually do smell, like, a lot. They're really musky animals.
Yeah, makes sense. They are wild animals.
Yeah. The penguins stink. It's hard to get to Antarctica, and you can get sunburned in the Arctic because you get, like, the light reflected on you from, like, both sides.
Yeah.
And those are the big things I learned from that anime.
Yeah, and it's not even the heat isn't even a factor. It's just, is the sun on you? Yes.
Yeah, that's the real danger.
Yeah, that's why you can still get sunburned on a cloudy day.
Ooh, yeah, good point.
It would take it takes longer, but it can still happen.
So, Mabi and the others, like, go back to the zoo because Mabi really wants to go there. And
he really wants to see those penguins.
Well, we see something. We definitely see a few somethings.
Yeah, I'm assuming you got a there it is. I was gonna say, I'm assuming you've got like an image for it. Yeah, so welcome to the Hell Zoo as labeled by the sign up front.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, where it's just a zoo, but now there are monsters, and Medabots is like, yes, this is awesome.
Their zoo is failing, so they made it cooler. I can't even like be against them on that. That's just kind of great.
It's just the problem of the penguin labor kind of thing. Yeah,
if they just replace these with like styrofoam, it's like, I'm gonna go off on another tangent. There's a there's a guy who like it's not Gus Johnson. It's some YouTuber where it's like last week probably a video where he's like, oh yeah, I went to every rainforest cafe in the country.
I think I watched that, or at least listened to it.
A plot like a sequel, which is I went to every Margaritaville in the country.
been seeing that in my recommendations and have not watched it.
Yeah, it is. It is about what you expect, but it's still a pretty fun time, yo. They just had some margaritas, they got shit-faced, they saw a dog, good stuff. But most importantly, to my tangent, is that they're going along and they see a sign that says, "What is the thing?" As a sign for a roadside attraction, and they're like, okay, that's weird, but where they start seeing more, and it's just a bunch of signs that are like, "What is the thing?" And they're like, okay, well, hang on, we have to stop anyway, so I kind of want to know now. And I kid you not, the roadside attraction is just like, it's a bunch of like, little like, sculptures and stuff about the secret history of what if aliens actually like appeared in the time of the dinosaurs and they had a war with the dinosaurs that resulted in them hitting a big bud and like wiping out all life on the planet and like causing the meteor, and they continued to modern day, and there's like exhibits of like aliens like driving around like freaking President Hoover, and like there's a sign with like what if, and it's got the aliens all over it, and there's just a picture of like the Twin Towers. Implying exactly what you probably expect.
That the aliens did it?
The aliens might have been the ones responsible. I can neither confirm. What if, though?
Okay, so they pushing this as like a thing, or is this just like a goofy side attraction?
Yeah, this is clearly like a goofy side attraction. Like they have aliens riding dinosaurs.
Okay, fine. As long as they're not trying to make anything that it's just like, nah, this is what happened in the past for real. It's like, guys, come on.
At the end, it's like, oh, but are you prepared for the thing? But what even is the thing? And you go there, and it is a fake alien body. It's just a mummified alien.
Crazy.
It's a mummified alien with like a cowboy hat over its crotch, so you don't like see anything.
They just made like a dumb
model. they just made a dumb fake like museum roadside attraction for this goofy idea just to lure tourists in, and it kind of worked apparently, like based on how many signs they have. I mean, yeah, it's gotta be successful, I'd imagine, otherwise they won't be in business, right?
Yeah. What? So I just said, well, it got them to stop. But also, now that I think about it, they're making a YouTube video. Of course they stopped. It's content.
Yeah. Of course. They stopped enough things to be like, oh yeah, we're going to re-stop at this rainforest cafe just for old times. It's the like end of a recurring story arc throughout the video of the main guy having PTSD from the first rainforest cafe trip. Like every now and then he'll be like, why do I feel like this area is familiar? And I'll just see a rainforest cafe across from the Margaritaville, and he'll be like, oh god, no, get away from me.
Yeah, that makes sense. That they're just like re-traveling all over the country for this. It's like, yeah, of course they'd run across rainforest cafes again.
Oh man. Shout to the like one where it's like they appeared at the thing super late, and they're like, hey, we have to like go in a day, and could you just like get us some like like ribs or something and some I think they're just straight up like, yeah, could you just get us like a pile of nachos or something that we can eat just so we can say we've ate here? And even though it's like as the store's closing, they're super cool of that, and they just did the thing and just gave them one like meal and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, that's neat.
It makes sense. It's just like, look, we're stopping at every franchise of yours in the country, and it's like It's like, look, we're basically giving you guys a ton of money by traveling around the country. Can we just be cool for this?
Apparently the only thing they asked is like, oh yeah, please just give us a good Yelp review. And they're like, you know what? That's fair.
That's fair.
That's completely fair.
Bought a Yelp review with nachos.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot of dumb crap if you have the right spin to it. Honestly, Hellzoom may have worked if they just didn't use penguins.
Yeah. Yeah, so back on the topic of Medabots.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, they still have the penguins in all the costumes, including a giant dragon costume.
Hey, you wanna go to the freaking monster yokai zoo where we just make a bunch of mythical creatures? And it's like, you know what? Hell yeah, I wanna go there. Let's go.
So here's the thing. The problem is that it's a cool idea, but the Robo gang is just like, they're not any more creative than let's put like basically statues of the creatures in like an enclosure. And it's like,
yeah, they need to sell it more. They need to get the atmosphere right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's this dark horned saber-toothed tiger thing in this bright summer day out in the middle of nothing, and it's like, wow, you guys really sold it.
Well, I know it's a zoo, so you're loaded, but you have to hype people up, be like, oh, but you have loudspeakers, and it's like, oh, but the beast may emerge anytime now, and oh, watch out, he's coming in like 10 minutes to Exhibit D, and you go out there, and it's like they've got on like wheels, so they can kind of like poke its head out of the shadows and like make a bit of like an entrance before like retreating back, and they do a big thing. Yeah, they have like a guy with a whip trying to like get away from some like fake real animal like props.
Yeah, like a loudspeaker that plays like growls and whatever.
Yeah, just stand back. He may leap for the cage at any second. And he's like, thankfully, we have the training to subdue him. And they take out like exorcism cards.
Yeah, so instead of that, their plan is we're doing a show with the penguins and we're gonna make them jump through flaming hoops.
Just come to Exhibit C. It's the world's most dangerous animal. Oh, it's like it's like a dragon puppet, and they have someone just like one of the gang members just like puppeting the head, so it just comes out of a little like hole in the wall every now and then, and just does some roars and stuff. And it's just a cool little thing. And it just goes back in after a while, and that way people are like, oh, I need to go. I missed the thing. I need to see it. I had to come back here.
I mean, they could. So the thing is like, because they have, because Medabots exist, I'm sure they could be more convincing with their exhibits than what they are. Like,
yeah,
it's like we got the dragon like thing, and then there's a Medabot in the mouth that has flamethrowers.
These dudes faked a UFO and made the town believe they were aliens. They can do better than this.
Yeah, well, maybe with more money.
Yeah, oh yeah, maybe with more money. Honestly, that was not expensive looking UFO either. It was like a cardboard cutout. You've been more creative than this before, Rubber Gang. Get it together.
Yeah. But yeah, after like they're like cracking the whip at the penguins and everything, is like, jump through the hoop, you idiot, and like Medabots gets all mad, and then they just kind of get kicked out. It's important to note that like, yeah, it's obvious that this is the Robo Gang. The heroes don't know that yet, because they're blind.
Oh man, I feel like I was like, originally my plan was I was going to do the thumbnail and just have like, the penguins coming out of the lion, and I'd just like, faux shot my head onto one of the penguins. But now I'm sure it's like, no, I can do better than that. I'd do like something more fun than that with like the freaking dark lion or something. Like, there's some ideas here I'm already just thinking of. Just big, what is it in the corner? Oh, man. If nothing else, if another part of, like, just doing the VTuber thing, that's been a really fun part of this. Just coming up with, like, dumb ways to insert my model into every thumbnail.
Yeah. Reacting the thing,
Yeah,
like, whatever image you have or whatever.
Freaking, like, shocked reaction to the woman tied up by the plant monster, There's one where I just got a pair of glasses and I was, like, in the lineup with the PTA. God, what was the R one? There's that, what's the R one? That was like which episode even was that between those two? God, I can't even remember. It was something.
Plants, PTA.
Crap, because I think it was the one with the guy with the guy who's pretending to be reporter. Yeah, and I was just like pulling at him like next to Sun Colors, just like, oh my god, as he's like stealing the snacks.
Yeah. and the reporter's got the terrible like
he's got the
look on his face.
Amazing look.
Yeah.
I probably was gonna do like freaking cat girl maid outfit or whatever and just be next to the lion with like an angry expression or something. I know that might be fun.
But yeah, this episode is actually really funny, but it kind of takes until halfway through it to get to it.
Yeah, there's a weird amount of sup, but it's fine. And they're like, okay, have you ever seen Chicken Run? We basically need to do that, but less allegorical.
Yeah, so they get kicked out, and then they find the kid and his Medabot, and they're like pouring water out of a watering can onto the penguins to try to cool them off. And Karin is also there because apparently the kid ran into her and she wanted to help out, and so they've been there like the whole day.
Karin just really wants to help however she can.
Yep. It also serves to bring her back into the story because she's going to be relevant in for a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Or at least she's going to be there for the next couple of episodes.
I feel like she's gonna be more of a main character than I was expecting, right? That seems like it's, the implication with this.
Yeah, she just wasn't appearing in too many episodes up until now.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, we need to jailbreak these birds. They gotta be free birds.
Yeah, and then Medabots is just like, well, okay, so how far is the South Pole? And Nikki's like, crazy far away.
Yeah.
And then they remember the ship that's heading there in like the next day, and it's like, all right, well, we're gonna bust out the penguins and get them there.
Honestly,
good thing this is a children's cartoon, or some idiots doing a podcast might question how they're going to feed themselves until they get to Antarctica.
Yeah, no, it's fine. They have a ship.
A ship that wasn't planning to have a bunch of penguins on it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like they'll just give the penguins the like crew rations. No, do penguins like pork? Do penguins like celery? We'll figure something out. They probably like wheat, right? They're birds. Birds eat bread.
Yeah. My thought would have been, well, they can just like go and fish, but like, how do they get back onto the ship if they do that?
You could probably like catch your line over the railing, right?
I mean the penguins.
Penguins
jump into the water and catch fish.
Yeah, you like set the net down, not to catch the fish, but so when the penguin does catch the fish, you can like hoist them back up.
Yeah.
God, I also do want to mention, and I'm sure someone will correct me on this. Well, I don't know, someone might not actually correct me on this, but it's like, how much does spraying a penguin with like a water bottle actually help cool them down? Because their feathers are like water repellent, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It might help a little. I
It
don't
probably
know.
helps a little. I don't know. That's something I was thinking of, because, like, yeah, there's some crazy crap. Like, forget where I saw some video where someone, like, stuck, like, a water repellent, like, feather into, like, literally, like, just a little, like, thing of water. It's like, just all
Just
the way
duck.
in there, just dunks it right in, pulls it back out, completely dry. And it's like, oh, yeah. Like, but it's like, just seeing it's, like, nutty.
Yeah, I saw that. It's duck feathers.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was, like, a big, like, handful of them, too, or something.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
okay,
dunk them
that's the one.
underwater.
Yeah.
They dunk them underwater, and they look like they're getting all wet and everything, and they pull it back out, and it's like, oh, they're dry,
They're just fine.
like water off a duck's back.
Like ducks off a waterback. Wait, what?
So yeah,
So yeah,
Operation Penguin Run.
Karin was way too willing to become a criminal for the penguins.
I love this bit where she's just like, okay, if we're gonna break into the zoo, then we gotta look the part. And they have like these like black like stealth suits, but they also have like vests with pockets on them.
Yeah.
And at first I was questioning that, and it's like, no, wait, where else would you keep all your tools and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
It makes enough sense. She like busts out a bunch of tools.
Yeah, we got the stealth suits with the vest with the pockets, and then she's got like a grappling hook that they didn't need because their Robo gang left the door open.
Do crime, free penguin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is pretty much the beginning of the funny part of the episode.
Yeah.
Because it's like Icky's just like, okay, we got to get in, but how are we gonna do it? And Karin's like, here's the grappling hook, and he's just like in disbelief that she even brought that. And then he goes through the process of throwing it up and then climbing up over the top, and he reaches the top of the wall. He's like, finally, I made it. And then I think it's Erica who's just like, what are you doing up there, Icky? And then they're down on the other side. It's like, yeah, they just left the door unlocked.
Yeah, the door's open. What are you doing? Oh, man. They go through it. It's like, okay, we have moved these penguins out. How do we, like, we need to, like, convince them that we're trying to get them to Antarctica, but they don't understand English. Damn it. It's like,
they give like a thing. It's like, we're here to rescue or whatever. And then all the penguins look at the penguin Medabot. And then the narrator is just like, at that moment, the penguins knew what was happening or something.
Completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, the penguins are just falling. Though it's like, all right, we gotta take them through the sewers. The Roro gang starts like chasing after them. They're making their escape. They show up at a random bus stop because I guess they didn't think far enough ahead to have transportation, right?
Yeah. So they're sneaking through like the sewers, and then the Robo gang they like they see what's happening, and they like flush a pond or something, and it like pushes them out of the waterway, but it also like dumps a crap load of water on them, and so the heroes can get away.
Yeah. And they fire away at the bus stop. And there's approach with this group of penguins, and the freaking bus guy's like, what's going on? And he sees the penguin. It's like, in that moment, he understood completely.
Yeah. The kids run up to the bus, and they're like, hey, there's a bunch of bad guys after us or whatever. And he's like, bad guys, what are you talking about? And then he looks out and sees the penguins, and then you get the narration of like, and then he understood completely. It's like,
yeah.
It's so funny.
And the Roro gang like, this get a taxi. You're like, okay, yeah, we have to chase down that bus.
Okay, so they try to chase down the bus on foot, but it's a
bus.
Right,
yeah.
And so like, oh, it stopped at a red light. We can still catch up to them. And then it turns green and the bus takes off again. And then like they start trying to run after it faster. And the woman and the baby and the really big guy, like they just kind of give up. But Sakikasu, who and the baby is Salami.
Salami, yeah.
So I made sure to remember Sakikasu's name because he's a little more important.
He seems like he's very relevant in these episodes.
Yeah, so he tries to like chase after the bus and runs out of energy and just passes out, and he's just like, I give up. I just can't do it. I used every ounce of energy I had, mama. And then the other guys pull up in a taxi and they're like, what are you doing?
Get in here, you idiot. Guy, I just love the freaking animation on him. It's like, it's so photorealistic, or it's like so realistic compared to like the rest of the show. Just him exhausting and sweating and just like trying to push himself as hard as he can. And he's like struggling and he just falls over. He's like, I can't. I tried my hardest. I'll never take over the world.
And what you mean is just like, most of the time the art style is like very simplistic, and then for this they very clearly went out of their way to draw him better.
We see every single crease in this man's face as he struggles for his life.
But they hop in the taxi and it's like, all right, chase him. It's like, what are you doing? Go faster. It's like, they gotta stop at a red light. We'll catch up to him there. And then they drive on, and then the taxi stops, and he's like, why are you stopping? He's like, the light turned red. And then Sakikasu is just like, fair enough. And then he gets out of the taxi and starts running again or something.
Yeah, they just start leaving. They're like, the taxi guy's like, wait, where are you gonna pay me? He's like, you need to pay for the thing. And they're like, we'll pay you later. And it's like, at that moment, the taxi driver completely understood what he meant.
When people say that they'll pay you later, they never actually come back with the money. Yeah. And then he like gets a serious look on his face, like he's going to hurt the rest of them who didn't run off. And Salami pulls out a credit card and he's like, I'll pay with my robo card. And then my first thought is, that's a thing? I think they used it in a previous episode, but it's just like, what bank is this affiliated with?
It's the Bank of Rubber Robo. The Bank of Robo, which is controlled by them and currently probably has zero funding.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, you pay with credit and then it won't come back until later. So that would get them out of there.
Man,
so here's the...
Is this better or worse than him being like if it's like actually like a fraudulent bank that's got nothing? Is that better or worse than him trying to pay with the Rubber Robo NFT?
Well, if it's actually tied to a real bank, then they could get information on the thieves.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense, huh? I guess that is like something that would work.
Yeah, but if it's but because it's like this Robo card thing that's probably associated with their own stupid like scam organization, they're gonna get away with this scot-free, I think.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking, like, if it's an NFT, then, like, you have zero ways to get in touch with them. If it's a bank, at least you have one way to get in touch with them.
Yep. The bus finally arrives at the harbor where the boat is, and the Robo gang is inexplicably here first. I was so confused. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, just doesn't make any logical sense, does it?
It makes absolutely no sense, and it's just like, I guess you're probably just supposed to roll with it, because I don't think they very clearly didn't mean for this episode to be taken seriously, especially not in this second half.
I'm so glad the Emperor's New Groove made that joke. Like, there's a point earlier this year, I forgot that gag existed. I was watching the movie, and it's like, oh yeah, all these gags are happening to put, like, Yzma behind and, like, the chase, and they're, like, falling off of cliffs and stuff. And, Cusco's dot line, like, thing makes it to the palace first, and it's Yzma's like, not so fast, and she's, like, in front of him. It's like, how it's like, yeah, you got me there, bud. No matter how you look at it really doesn't make any logical sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good bit.
That's a good bit, man. Apparently so much of that movie was just made with that script through like improv and just throwing shit at the wall to get something done. And like that, you can feel it. You can feel it so hard.
I just love that. I mean, if that's true, then it's just, yeah, the actors are great at improv.
Yeah, it was like they had stuff written down, but they did have like a finalized actual script.
So they just kind of made stuff up.
Yeah, there's actually a cap, so it was like, oh yeah, hey, you're working on that thing. Yeah, we need the actual like script so we can put in like the archives to like, just keep track of everything. They're like, oh yeah, we don't got a script, and they're like, wait, what? And they're just like, yeah, we don't have a complete script. Yeah, we have a bunch of like folders and notes in various boxes, I guess. And it's like, well, I guess we'll take the boxes then. Just crazy, just insane that film even got made. It's like the wildest crap,
and it's so good.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it, like I think it was last year. It was on Netflix, and I was just like, yeah, like I can't sleep. I'll watch The Emperor's New Groove, and I was just like, man, this movie's great.
Coldest take of the day, The Emperor's New Groove is still funny.
Yeah, there's like a whole bit where like Pacha and Cusco are at a restaurant, and then Kronk gets roped into like cooking, and like Yzma's like Cusco and Yzma like keep walking in through like a revolving door to change their orders or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like
the most like, Looney Tunes level gags.
Yeah, and Kronk is just like, he's just doing it. He's just taking down their orders and all the changes and everything. And it's just this really funny bit.
He's keeping up with it. And this ancient freaking Mayan, like, just 50s diner. What's going on, Baron?
Yo, what up?
Oh, man. But yeah, so the penguins go away, and then they have to fight a robal, and it's a submarine, and it's really like nothing. They just they have an underwater fight, and they get above the water, and they win.
Yeah. So okay. So there's a Mr. Referee gag where they go go to start the fight.
Oh, this one's
and
good.
It's like. Yeah, and all of a sudden you just hear, so it's been agreed upon by both sides or whatever, and everyone looks around, they're like, huh? And then Mr. Referee, like, pulls off a penguin costume and stands up to his full height, and Icky's just like, what? How?
Yeah. What's going on, Baron? But yeah...
and the best part is that isn't even the funniest or like weirdest Mr. Referee gag in this episode.
Yeah, right, because there's the one like 2 episodes from now. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that one's really good.
Well, I mean, in this episode, there's another Mr. Referee gag.
I'm trying to think.
Okay, so like you said, they have the row battle. Icky doesn't summon aquatic parts from Medabots for some reason, but he hangs onto the anchor as it's being raised out of the water and comes up and then shoots the other Medabot, which is an amphibious Medabot that can work on land and water, which is really cool. And Medabots gets its legs, so that's great.
Yeah, I think the design's a bit bland though. Like the more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, not this one.
It's cool that it's amphibious and works on land or water, though.
Yeah. I'm ready for the Robo Rubbers. Baron, in 2 episodes, you will not be disappointed.
But yeah, Medabots wins. The penguins escape, and the ship is sailing away. And the penguins and the penguin Medabot are like waving goodbye, and it slowly pans over to the left, and Mr. Referee's going with them for some reason.
They kidnapped Mr. Referee, those monsters.
Well, he's waving too, so he's just like, I don't know, he's going to Antarctica for some reason.
Mr. Referee got shanghaied.
this is in the middle of like the tearful goodbye with the boy and his penguin Medabot who thinks it's an actual penguin and is going to Antarctica with the penguins. And it's
Mr.
just
Referee got stolen.
it's so like I rewound the thing to it's like, wait, was there no, like, nobody reacted to this, nobody, there was
no, he just
no
goes.
he jumped on the boat, he's just there. It's like, all right,
stole him.
That's pretty much it. This episode is really funny.
I liked it. We probably talked about it too much because we got distracted by like roadside attractions and the Emperor's New Groove and freaking Margaritaville of all things.
It wouldn't be one of our podcasts if we didn't get distracted by a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of true, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, funny episode. I liked it.
Yeah, this was good.
Medabots gets some parts that should be really useful in the future if they ever find themselves fighting near water.
Yeah.
And they'll probably forget about.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't use the octopus legs, but I guess because the fight started on land, he didn't think he'd need them.
Yeah, but I don't know. If I was Icky, because that was my first thought is like, all right, before this starts, transport the octopus legs. No? Okay, Medabots going in the water then.
We gotta do this once. Listen, it's an established trope for a reason. It's like, take a character who's not known for swimming well and put them up against an expert swimmer, and you've got a good fight.
Which is weird because we did that episode.
Oh yeah, multiple times. Well, at least once, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Final thoughts on this episode. Like I said, I think it's funny, it's good.
Good gag is good. And that guy never got paid for that taxi fare.
Nope.